Hey, what's up? So here I'm at, um, surrounded by perps in the EMF and otherwise. Um, Military scientists, folks with clearance, have had access to remote neural monitoring since the 60s. Stuff like that have all the tactical, strategic, and ruthless advantages up through all the psychos that serve in the CIA and other capacities. And it's not religion. It's like shades of Project Phoenix as some of the recent readings, what's going on the West Coast. It's not spiritual, it's synthetic telepathy. These aren't angels, they're handlers and mind control addicts, just like Kevin Christian describes, passed out on machines in other locations, feel like they can get away with anything, have no fear of anything that's God because they fake it and can do it convincingly if you're not educated in psychological operations, COINTELPRO, synthetic telepathies, secret surveillance, repeating patterns of history, and stuff. I'm not qualified as one specialist in one area of society. And yeah, I'm not matched by the full force of the federal government. Motherfuckers can turn me off like a light, and then I not know what happened the next day. I'm technically an enemy combatant, along with all of the folks Blackwater is covertly exterminating among other alphabet soup agencies that are involved in this. So here I sit, late August. Got about a month to move to a new location. They may manage my meds a little bit better. It's, maybe a little bit more care. And in inpatient facilities, I avoid death and endless moments of torture, probably for the rest of my life, every 15 to 20 seconds. Just tactically, strategically, obsessively, as an addiction, denied life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, even control of my own mind, with R&M headgear, as Kevin describes, to take myself away from this perp that never ends. My aunt's perped. My mom has remote torture tinnitus. My dad may have had a remote torture induced stroke. It's horrific, and secretly there's no repercussions for any of them. They're told going into this there's no life after death. Those using monitor consciousnesses to show up as a monitor consciousness, exactly how Kevin describes. International implications of this technology, I am not qualified to even speculate on. And the word singularity, where normal physics breaks down into computer science and otherwise EMF, and as Kevin describes, event like this. For some time ago, I was on some subjects, and I may have just recently said this in a video, I thought a lot of people were 50 years behind me as more of a bleeding edge person. I'm catching up with Kevin, and then all this other stuff, like, I am far outmatched by the full force of the federal government. I'm not a terrorist. I'm tortured. What terror, anti-terror in the Northwest means, torturing TIs. And then to like torture them into white nationalism or terrorist statements or terrorist actions. And people schooled in military science and making sacrifices on battlefields know to spot things like false flags. Know when to digest a crisis actor, have read history books, know repeating patterns, predictable outcomes, and work to fight the good fight, and even sail on a boat by yourself in the opposite direction in the bay, which was more or less my experience as a political dissident, and then tortured every day ever since. Trying to free the debt slaves for trying to better themselves through education and prevent indentured servitude. Nay, prevent debtors' prisons. They can make that in your body and mind, in your home, in my little slice of Swiss prison, an outpatient mental health facility in Hillsborough that's been perped for a year since I've gotten here. I'm mind fucked is another way that they describe this. The chakra abuse and NLP and non-consensual receivers of your consciousness for 15 years of all of the electric core. I don't know how many people have had my consciousness or parts of it digested at the speed of thought and then attributed to other voices as the real person's getting suicided, and then all content of good extracted and playing both sides, and people that know their shit better than I in things like survivability, torture, human condition, and stuff. So I was a specialist nerd in a particular area, tortured TI, and there's too many of us. So we are denied systematically and obsessively by perps ability to organize. Constitutional right. From the EMF, who secretly can't get caught, suffers no repercussions, and I'm woefully inadequate as one TI to try to wrangle tech-enabled psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists in a playground gone mad used to rape and pillage the 3D reality in ways that are so horrible. You would think it were not a plane that actually hit the World Trade Center. It was actually a missile wrapped in a blue beam, falsification of a plane. John Lear said you couldn't get in the city limits of New York in a passenger plane like that. The alarm in the pilot's cabin would disable the pilot. Like, you would not make it. He was like, that was total bullshit. And it took me a while to see like a blue beam mimic of me show up sort of looking like me in a brown truck when I used to drive a green Ford Ranger. What set you claim, boo? Can't even get the colors right. And I may have so many more Speed of Thought mimics. Like, there's apparently a kid at Speed of Thought that, you know, for gangs and stuff, runs around in the unknown quantity of mind-controlled people. Try not to blame the victim, too. There's a lot of satanic disrespect to the TI when it's the MF hiding out, trying to never get caught. Anyways, it's a mess. I don't have all the answers. I'm defeated because synthetic telepathy is such a reality. I oppose it, so I look like the humiliated TI for the target audience, among other criteria. It's really a rough world, and it's very not Christian, and humiliated, not humbled. And then I feel like a lot of stuff that I've even seen for this perp on like big box, you know, pseudo-y Christian-y crap, that people are really getting set up to be handled and have monitors and total individual control, and it's Satanism. And, you know, people are so misled and easily taken advantage of. They think it's Jesus raping them with the rape codes, and it's an EMF perpetrator sitting in their basement in another location on that headgear, a based Spartan, you know, ready to go off. And it's specifically been used to, unfortunately, lead into sin. In my 15 years of a targeted individual torture, meat puppet on the West Coast, human condition so disrespected, destroyed, consumed in cosmically illegal ways that we're all memory wiped to not even remember is so horrible, or even able to really fight back. So there's probably a lot past the EMF that they aren't able to talk to, like, hopefully. And I want to get out of the black Swiss cheese holes if there's life after death, so I don't have to fucking hear from the 4th grade either. And it's not going to be through memory wipes at the moon, so...